Diseases have impacted humanity throughout history and continue to do so today. Let's take a look at the 20 most terrifying diseases in history. Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, or mad cow disease, a rare disorder that impairs brain function and leads to dementia-like symptoms. While mad cow disease symptoms resemble Alzheimer's, they generally progress more quickly and are fatal. About 1 to 2 cases per million people are detected worldwide each year. Mad cow disease primarily affects older individuals. Anthrax, usually spread through skin contact, respiratory or digestive pathways. Skin-transmitted anthrax starts as a small blister with surrounding swelling, often turning into a painless sore with a black center. Respiratory anthrax presents with fever, chest discomfort, and shortness of breath, while the gastrointestinal type leads to diarrhea, abdominal pain, nausea, and vomiting. Some governments have considered anthrax as a weapon, and it has been used for biological warfare and bioterrorism since 1914. The 1975 Biological Weapons Convention banned its development, production, and storage, though it has continued to be used in bioterrorism since then. Yellow fever, typically a short-term viral disease. It spreads through the Aedes aegypti mosquito, especially in urban areas and tropical and subtropical regions. Originating in Africa, it spread to the Americas in the 17th century through the slave trade. The yellow fever virus was first isolated in 1927. Leprosy, also known as Hansen's disease, is an infection that can harm the nervous system, respiratory system, skin, and eyes. This results in a loss of pain sensation, and injuries in numb areas or untreated wounds can lead to infections and eventual amputation. Patients may also experience muscle weakness or vision issues. Symptoms of leprosy may appear within a year, but can sometimes take up to 20 years or more. Cases have reduced globally from 5.2 million in the 1980s to below 200,000 in 2020. Most new cases are concentrated in 14 countries, with over half in India. Rabies, a viral infection causing brain inflammation in humans and other animals. Initial symptoms include fever and unusual sensations at the virus entry site. Additional signs can include nausea, vomiting, sudden movements, uncontrollable excitement, hydrophobia, paralysis, confusion, and loss of consciousness. Rabies leads to approximately 59,000 deaths annually worldwide, with over 40% of the victims being children under 15. The disease is present on all continents except Antarctica and in over 50 countries, affecting around 3 billion people globally. Encephalitis lethargica, also known as sleeping sickness, is a rare type of brain inflammation. It damages the brain, leading to paralysis and speech loss in some patients. Between 1915 and 1926, a global encephalitis lethargica epidemic affected over 1 million people, with more than 500,000 deaths. Many survivors never regained their pre-disease vitality. Ebola virus disease, or Ebola hemorrhagic fever, a viral disease caused by Ebola viruses, leading to hemorrhaging in humans and primates. Symptoms usually appear 2 to 21 days post-exposure, beginning with fever, sore throat, muscle pain, and headache, followed by vomiting, diarrhea, rash, and liver and kidney impairment. Internal and external bleeding may occur, with a mortality rate of 25 to 90%. Death is often due to shock from fluid loss, occurring 6 to 16 days after symptoms first appear. Tuberculosis, TB, also known as the White Death or historically as consumption, is a contagious disease caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. TB usually affects the lungs but can impact other body areas. Most infections are asymptomatic, known as latent tuberculosis. About 10% of latent infections progress to active TB, and untreated active TB can be fatal for half of patients. Common symptoms include chronic cough with bloody phlegm, fever, night sweats, and weight loss. In 2022, an estimated 10.6 million people had active TB, causing 1.3 million deaths, making it the second leading infectious disease after COVID-19. Malaria, a disease affecting vertebrates and transmitted by mosquitoes. Symptoms in humans include fever, fatigue, vomiting, and headache, and severe cases can cause jaundice, seizures, coma, or death. Symptoms typically appear 10 to 15 days after being bitten by an infected Anopheles mosquito. Prolonged or repeated exposure to malaria can lead to loss of partial immunity. In 2022, there were about 249 million malaria cases worldwide, with an estimated 68,000 deaths, 80% of which occurred among children under 5. Sub-Saharan Africa accounts for about 95% of cases and deaths. Malaria is often associated with poverty, significantly hindering economic development, costing Africa approximately $12 billion annually due to increased healthcare expenses, lost job opportunities, and tourism impacts. Cholera. There have been 7 major cholera pandemics over the last 200 years, with the first beginning in India in 1817. While much is known about cholera transmission, experts still don't fully understand why outbreaks occur in some areas but not others. The first 6 pandemics occurred continuously from 1816 to 1923, spread by increased trade, migration, and pilgrimage journeys. Though cholera subsided in the 1970s, smaller outbreaks continue, especially in developing countries. These outbreaks typically arise after wars, civil conflicts, or natural disasters due to contaminated water and food sources, overcrowding, and poor hygiene. Between 1817 and 1860, India lost over 15 million people in the first 3 outbreaks. Another 23 million people died from subsequent outbreaks between 1865 and 1917. During the same period, cholera claimed more than 2 million lives in the Russian Empire. HIV and AIDS. The human immunodeficiency virus HIV is a retrovirus targeting the immune system. Although treatable, untreated HIV leads to various health issues including acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, AIDS. Effective treatment for HIV-positive patients involves lifelong medication to suppress the virus to undetectable levels. HIV transmission primarily occurs through unprotected sexual contact, contaminated needles, infected blood transfusions, or mother-to-child transmission during pregnancy, childbirth, and breastfeeding. Bodily fluids such as saliva, sweat, and tears do not spread the virus, and transmission risk through oral sex is low. Which disease do you think is the scariest? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. That's all for now. If you enjoyed our video, please hit the like button and share your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. Be sure to check out our other videos, and to stay updated on our new content, subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you can see our new videos right away. Thank you for watching.